So saying your name is really important, especially on experience day. It gets really hectic, and they're all new guests, so they're all new faces. So when you walk up front, Heidi's like, who the heck is this? Now, it is her job to know, but experience day is very hectic. Would you agree? So it's important that you say, this is Brenda, and she wants to come back for blah, 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 or whatever, but this is Brenda.
And since they're new clients for you guys too, at least 3 times in their appointment with you, you need to use their name so that you remember it too.
That's huge.
Not, can I get you something else to drink? Becky, would you like another coffee? Becky, right over here is, you need to use their name at least 3 times in the service. And I'm going to say, because it's hard for me sometimes to remember a new guest's name, I'm like, crap, what is it? Hold on, let me go look.
That's very true.
So
we're all human.
You use it at least 3 times in that appointment to help make it stick in your brain too, so that when you're walking up there, you can say, Heidi, this is Jody. We did a haircut today. She needs to come back in 5 weeks, and here are the 3 products we used.
And sometimes when you get up there, she's busy. What do you do then? Because you guys get up there and stand there like deer in the headlights because we haven't talked about it. That's the reality. And that's on me. We haven't talked about it. So I want experience days to be successful for you. And I want you to feel uncomfortable, but I want you to have the tools to know what to do when you're uncomfortable. Make sense? Because uncomfortable is where we grow. So you get up there and she's busy. What do you do now? What can you do other than stand there and look at her for your tip? So you can grab the products. You can reiterate what they are. This is the shampoo and conditioner that I recommended, and this is the styling product. What else can you do? Because we generally, you guys have like 1 front desk person now? You have 2? Okay. Because here we only have 1.
Yeah.
And so when I go up there when she's busy, I have to fill that spot, even non-experienced days. You assistants that work here know that. You have to fill the spot. So what do I do when I go up if she's busy? I book their next. I do it for them. If you don't know how to do that, you need to learn timely so that you can fill the need that's there. I just go, okay, so we wanted to do 4 weeks. What date works for you? I don't like to check guests out. I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't like to take their money. That's not my role. So if I need to fill that time, I'm booking the appointment. And I always I'll put my hand on Renda like, hey, I'm talking to this person. And she hears me, and she'll even acknowledge them like, okay, I'm going to be right with you. I never just leave them. Do you know what I'm saying? I never just leave them. And so you can even say, I'm just going to wait so that you get checked out with her. Let it be awkward, because then next time you're not going to let it be awkward. You're going to find something to do in that time. But don't just leave them there by themselves, standing around for a free service. They don't know why they're standing there either. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, why am I standing here? If this is free, is this the gimmick? Is this where they're going to get me? Do you know what I'm saying? So when they're up there, you can say, there is a survey that we ask you to fill out, and Heidi's going to give that to you, just so we know how we're doing. Tell them what they're waiting for. But make that more fluid, because there's an open greeting, there's the middle part, the meat, all that stuff, and then the closing is just solidifying everything you just did. But they have to have a checkout with someone else. If they're not comfortable with you, the front desk is the one who's going to say, oh, you don't love it, let's fix it. If they miss the mark with you because you didn't, for whatever reason, and that's okay. But that's the final, let's make them leave happy. And I don't like doing that, because if I didn't give them that opportunity, if I didn't make them feel comfortable enough to say, it's too red, it's too blonde, it's too dark, it's too short, well, we can't fix that, but whatever. They have another relationship that they can then say. Or maybe I just misread them because I was in a rush. And they're like, oh, well, let's fix it. I want them happy, you want them happy. At the end of the day, that's part of who we are, right? So making sure they know that. So my floor days are on these experience days only right now. So I would love to see you again. We could book it, or I recommend 4 weeks. This is the one available in 4 weeks. They're on the calendar, they're in Slack, and in the morning I give them to Heidi so she's aware if you don't have a floor day where to pre-book that. So that's a great question. If you're not licensed, then you're limited with what you can do. So if they do want something you recommended, but you can't do it because you can't do anything but free services, you can recommend someone. Do you know what I mean? Until you have your license. Once you have your license, the doors are open. So you four have your license, yes? Okay, so you four can put anything on your book that you recommend and fill your book. Put it on experience day if it's something you don't know how to do. That's what we're here for, right? So you are doing a color you don't know how to do, well, somebody's going to help you that day. But the goal is not to do free people forever. The goal is to put chargeable services on those days with support, so that when you do get appointments on your floor days that you have without support, meaning you just have a floor day and you hope that somebody can help you with the formulation, you feel more confident. Does that make sense? So, but the dates, I like to put them up like the next 3 dates for Heidi. And I'll say, well, here's 4 weeks, here's 6 weeks, because those are the standard bookings, and that's how you can do it. So great question. If you have floor days at your location, you also can do it there. But just make sure they know the location the experience day is happening at, and I write that up there too. So when you go up, if you're the one that's going to book them, there'll be a little note on the counter just saying these experience days and the dates next to them. Am I missing something before I make them do it?
I don't think so.
No. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. I need a volunteer because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need one of us to be one of their people. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to recommend product. You're going to walk them up front, and you're going to awkwardly check them out. It's going to be awkward. I'm going to be up front. I'm going to be your go-to gal that's going to check them out. But if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? Right? So we're not walking to the door and letting them walk out. So you're going to pick a partner, and you're going to pull product. You're going to pre-book, but you've already done all the work. Yes or no? If you did all the work here, it's not awkward. Now it is weird because you're just telling this person this is what you're doing. So have a plan, and we're going to walk through it. You're going to bring them up front. You're going to introduce them back to the front desk. What questions do you have about what we're about to do? None? Okay, so get with your partner. And you're going to feel their hair, look at their hair, decide what products you recommend for them, and what the maintenance is on their current hairstyle, because that's what you're booking. Okay? What are you going to style her with to protect her from heat or blow drying? You could. You could do genius leave-in. You could, but so thinking about like, because you're like just doing it from the jump, but you would style her. And when you blow her out, you're gonna put products in her hair.
Yeah.
So what products would you put in her hair?
For the blow. Okay, definitely that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So okay, so whip. There you go. That's what you're recommending for her blowout or something, because you're not gonna blow it out raw.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I know you're digging.
Yeah, I'm like.
That's why. That's why.
Anne is quite the client sometimes.
That's why I'm helping.
No. You know I'm teasing you.
Okay, so what you did hers first? What are you recommending for her?
Well, I suggested genius, like at first.
Mhm.
Obviously, like I think you protect it and put it like into together, and then whip,
And yeah, the extensions.
and then this is something which I kind of cheated a little bit. She told me that she like in her personal preference that she likes like in the time in her hair.
That's perfect. It's okay to cheat because you haven't had enough experience with the product, so that would be great. Now, and she likes in no time. Did you feel her hair?
Yes, I think.
Okay, feel mine. I hate in no time in my hair.
Right.
Love the product, but that would be the difference when you're thinking about who should I use this on. She's got the hair that needs condensing. I have the hair that needs fluffing. Do you know what I'm saying? That would be the difference. Yeah, it's going to condense her hair. It's heavy. It's a cream. It's going to make mine look like I have none.
Right.
Do you
And
know
then
what I'm
with
saying?
the whip again, what would be
The whip is great for everyone. It's like an easy go-to. Like I don't know what to use, so I'll use the whip. I think that's why it's our bestseller. But it is not volumizing.
So I was gonna say, so what would be the point of it? I mean,
So for me, it has control of the hair. It's going to protect it from the heat. It's going to lock out humidity. I could use it in combination with like a surf spray at the root. What was your question?
does it like help hold style?
Yes, because it locks out the humidity. So that's going to be hold. You could put hairspray on top of it to layer that hold. But it's not for like someone with 10 hairs on their head. They need surf spray. And that's going to be, because it has oil in it, that's going to be too heavy for that particular guest.
Okay. And then would you like? I mean, for instance, do you like finishing your style with like hairspray? Do you like hairspray or do you? I don't normally use hairspray.
So,
Shampoo,
who do you use
conditioner, and a
hairspray
salon.
on? When and why? When you're doing a guest?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got what you're going to recommend?
Every client
Perfect.
if they want hairspray. I would use it more for people like if I gave like something with like volume, I feel like I would use that.
Okay.
Also with people like that want like that have like the curtain thing, like the swoop.
That you want to keep out of the face?
I spray that with hairspray too, or even if I just did like a curly blowout, or if I put some curls in the hair.
Those are
I'll
all I
just
would
put very light
definitely get.
hairspray.
So for me, I use hairspray on everyone that doesn't tell me no.
And that's just to
So I'll get the can of hairspray, and they'll say, "Oh no, I don't want that." But I'll get the can of hairspray. One, we live in Florida. If you don't set the hair, it's changing. So I like a light hairspray on everyone. I like the new one that we're selling because it's not wet. So you spray it, let it dry for a minute, and then you can brush through if they don't like the feel of hairspray. But I use it on everyone. And I explain, like, we live in Florida, so when you walk outside, I want your style to stay. And this is going to help hold that. Still can be touchable. We'll just brush the hairspray through, but it's still layered on the hair.
So you guys
Does that
are
make
set with
sense?
products? We'll
So
let
you
know
can
when
use
you're
it on
ready.
everyone unless
Okay,
they tell you no.
Yeah.
Because it will, in an hour,
not just
their hair might not hold if you don't use. Awesome.
But usually at the top of her head.
All right, so I'll go up there so she can walk you up there.
Who's going to go first?
I'm going to move
Who's
your
going
coffee.
to go first?
Hey, how are you? Wonderful. Thanks. They're fun. Yes, by all means. Do you guys want to if you want to peek over here, Carissa's going to walk the loose up and you can see kind of what it looks like fluidly. Well, you're at the front desk, so they may need you to book their future appointments.
So this is what I used today, okay? These are my favorite. The Care Smooth shampoo and conditioner. And then we are going to book our next one. We're going to do the same thing as we did today, but we're also going to add a conditioning treatment to it. And I don't remember how long this last one was. If you could take a look and let
Oh,
us know.
yeah. Last time she was in 6 weeks ago.
Perfect. I think that was good. If it was good for you, if not, we can push it out about 2 weeks, and then you can always call us and say, I don't want to wait that long. Okay?
All right.
Well, it was so good to see you today. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to let us know. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Thank you again for coming in. Your hair looks amazing.
So she didn't even make the sale. She just left it here for me to do, and that's okay. If they've already said yes, you can say she's getting these today. That would be the only difference if you've already gotten that answer. So there you have it. That's what it looks like. Oh, and she. Good job.
Why clapping?
All right. It's going to be awkward. I could tell it was awkward for Carissa. She's role playing. She does it every single day, but she knows what to say, and so it's awkward, but it's okay. Let's be awkward together.
You can let somebody else go since I just made you go through it.
Robert can check you out on the other side too. You're welcome.
I gotta grab something.
Ah! Oh, you don't want to be uncomfortable?
No, I'll be
You're
right
funny.
Anna, we'll go. Come here. No, wait, let's everybody stand here like we walk in. Stand here.
Oh, just stare at Lexi and make her uncomfortable, since we're all uncomfortable. Hi!
Hi,
We said let's make her uncomfortable since we're all uncomfortable.
Hey. We're role playing checkouts. That's why everyone feels awkward and uncomfortable when nobody wants to go first. Oh, I'm good. Go ahead. Okay, let's go make sure that Jen's up here for you. All right, Jen. So for you, we're gonna do some hydrate here, some width, genius. All right, I'll leave this right here for you. So yeah, we're gonna use the hydrate here just for your extensions there. The width is what we use during your blow dry, and the genius is well there for you. All right.
Who is she?
This is Hannah. I don't know, should I just pretend she got like a blow dry?
That's right. Whatever.
I really don't know how to pre-book, to be honest. I always I put them there, and then what else do I say?
So what you could do is you can pull the products and say, this is Hannah. She's checking out today, and I'm going to see her in 4 weeks for blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Or I recommended she comes back in.
Okay.
What's more comfortable for you?
I guess I recommend she comes back in 4 weeks, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All
I'll leave this here for you. You have a Merry Christmas. It was lovely to see you.
Perfect.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect. So just remember to introduce them back.
Okay, so to you, I'm introducing
Yeah, because
this is Hannah.
yes, because if it's a new client, I don't know their face.
You and I'm I have no idea what to tell her.
No, exactly. But now you did it.
You don't have to necessarily say because this is the end. You don't have to this is Hannah. She's been back and forth. She's brought her 3 drinks. Yeah, she doesn't remember her name. But you have this is Hannah. So Hannah's gonna come back in.
Yep.
Or I think Hannah should come back in.
Okay.
Wording is really important.
Mhm.
Wording really is important.
It really is, yeah. That's why I was I just
say this is Hannah. This is the end of the service, and she knows that you're introducing her again. Okay.
Yeah.
All right then.
Great point. Great point. I'm gonna move this because it's gonna end up.
Automatic. I saw that too.
Just don't put your hand near that as people walk by.
Go for it. Go for it.
Thank you. Lexi, I feel weird doing your role. I feel awkward doing this role.
Yeah, however you like. Come right up there. However you take your time. Carissa.
book in another 3 weeks. And these are the products we did talk about. If she would like to, you guys can have that conversation. If she'd like to get them,
Okay, okay. This is important because you guys feel this way, right?
yeah. Okay. So all you have to do is just these are the products we talked about, and then let it go. Okay. Don't take any more of that pressure. These are the products we talked about. You don't have to sell it. You don't have to try to make her sell it. You already talked about them, and then you just want to point them to me because I'm the one you want to sell them to, subconsciously. But there you go. Then we want to book her next one in 3 weeks, and then you're done. So just release that pressure. You're
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. You're done. You like it. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
you did great, and then you just like overthought it. You're like, oh shit, what do I do?
Okay, great. Something else you can do is you can, Carissa's booking and then get your products. Sell the book, like do the booking and then pull the products. You don't have to be like, oh, I have to grab stuff. You don't have to do that. It can be as genuine as it feels. I know this is not genuine, but okay, who's next? You can put your 2 cents in too, since you're up here.
Stand up here like we're booking already. I'll be in the way.
You're like it is super awkward and try like you're making a suggestion because you just did their hair. This is what when you bring them up you can be like, so I recommend if she's gonna maintain this, I recommend 3 weeks or whatever, and then like if you make it too salesy then it's awkward. Like you're just educating. That's all you do. So you don't even think about I need to sell this to you because then it's like even for me I'm like oh gosh I'm cringing. So you're just educating. You're just like, okay, this is.
But they should have already talked about the products.
Talk about whatever. So you're just talking. Just make it like a conversation, and then it takes like pressure off of you from being like, that awkward feeling. And if she wants to make
Correct.
short hair,
Correct. If you build the rapport, that's what we've talked about that. Yes.
some time, because you're the professional, so you're educating them. So don't worry about.
All right.
Next, go ahead. We're just gonna stand up here in the way like we're other guests checking out, and things are going on. You have to walk around other people and.
And you can tell me how beautiful I am. That's great. Wonderful. I have no computer, so I'm pretending to book you.
This is Christy. She's gonna be.
So it's awkward, right? Because we're talking.
Yeah.
So what can you do in place? Like we're still booking her out. What can you do in that place?
I can show her the products then.
Perfect. So let me show you those products again. And you can grab them.
Checking them out there for just 1 minute.
Yeah. And Brenda's gonna look at you, or whoever's here is gonna greet you. And then back to what I'm doing. So they're standing there awkwardly.
So these are products here that we can finish up.
Yep.
Hydrate for moisture.
Here,
And the whip. We like to go ahead and show her our survey, and then I recommend her coming back for our next experience.
Okay, perfect. And what's she coming back for?
Blow dry.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. And then you're free. You're free. You've handed her off to me, and then it's mine. Perfect. Nice job. All right, who's up? Oh, that's why it's also more awkward. I didn't know that was happening.
Alrighty, Jen. So Lindsay's gonna come back in 3 weeks for a blow dry.
Okay.
And while you're checking it out, I'll go ahead and get them for all that.
Awesome. So you want to book in 3 weeks?
Yes.
Does December 25th sound great to you?
That's perfect. Yeah, Christmas. Yeah, that's perfect. The day of,
Yeah.
late as possible.
Okay.
So here is the product that we talked about today. We use this for your shampoo, and we use these for your styling today.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
It was nice seeing you.
Yeah.
Hope you come back soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, so she did that hope you come back again soon. So maybe she didn't get the commitment.
Yeah.
And if you leave something, it leads me to say, did you want to book your next? Or when can, actually I'm not supposed to say that. I'm supposed to say, when can we book your next as the front desk? But she left it there. So even if you say something is better than nothing about the pre-booking.
And sometimes they don't want to book, like, you know what I mean? Like, I have had
the book when she's ready, or she'll give us a call when she's ready. Right. Sometimes that's just the way it is, and that's just the way they are.
Brenda, how do you? I'm going to put you on the spot
No.
because yours is different than mine and Chris's. So how would you do that process? What does it look like for you?
For me?
Mhm.
Okay.
You can be her client.
I even come back here and I'm like, this is what we used on you today. I need to see you whether or not they like to book their appointment or not, because I have guys who want to call and I'll make a joke. You want to pre-book? Because it's such a habit that I ask everybody to pre-book. So regardless of if they do it or not, and I already know, then I kind of joke around and I'm like, one of these days I'm going to get you to do it. Or something. And then I'm like, I'll leave you with Bree, Marina, blah, 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 and then I go. It's
Yeah, so it can be from behind the desk. I do that too because sometimes I'm booking their appointment. So
And sometimes you have to get to the next client. You don't have.
and then you want to pretend like your book is booked. Like they need to book their next one with you or they might not get in. Because one day that's going to be reality.
So train them
And you can
now.
always recommend, say, it's always better to have something on the book, because then I can say, you know what? Let me move Jennifer and Susan. They can switch instead of trying to create a spot for Jennifer when there's no spot there.
I never say my whole day is open. Do you prefer morning or afternoon? And then 2 times. I don't say, well, we can do whenever you want that day. You are booked. You are booked.
Okay, so I want you to do it again. But listen, we're going to do it with 2 of you. Robert's over here so he can check out one guest and I can check out the other. Just do it again, however it feels comfortable for you or not. Just doing it over and over is what's going to make us feel more comfortable. What? You're just checking a guest out. What would your line be? Hmm? How was everything? Yeah, I mean, I get weird because I don't even know. I'm not up here. Do you want to purchase those products? When can I book your next appointment?
You're ready.
Any of it. Take a minute. Go ahead.
And that is how I failed my first one. Cracking up.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to book you for a blow dry. Awesome. And they're going to fill in those holes. They're used to doing this. So when you freeze, okay, so you want to book a blow dry in 3 weeks. Perfect. That looks like this time. Do you like morning or afternoon? Perfect. And now as I'm looking, you can then fill in.
Unnatural, like, I don't know.
I know, it's okay. It's okay.
So this is Oh, I did? Okay. I'm like just talking. All right.
And then I used on you today. It was good to see you.
It was great seeing you. Have a good one. Perfect.
Okay, but don't run away from your guests next time, but perfect. Perfect. So I'm going to, the conversation now looks like, were you interested in any of these as I check you out? And then you're going to say yay or nay. Robert forgot his lines too.
He just stood there.
He goes, I forgot my lines. See, it's awkward, but we have to do it to feel comfortable. And he does this all the time.
I didn't remember everything either when I did mine, if you noticed.
Yeah, the thing is,
Yeah.
like I said before, when you're not doing all 6 steps, it's hard to have that organic flow. You're like jumping in at the end, and if you get in still, it still helps.
Yes.
Hi. How was everything?
Wonderful. She's amazing. Right?
Carissa.
Go up there and throw them off. Add in a whole nother one.
Awesome.
Do it, why not?
Perfect. So 3 weeks from today is, do you like Thursdays?
I do, yeah.
Awesome.
For New Year's Eve, yep, I have nothing planned yet.
Oh, pretend like it's not there. No one's ever gonna see it. Do people see it?
Yep, thank you for coming in, whatever.
We need to end, like right now, is everything's buy two, get one.
You guys are mic'd up too,
These are
by
the
the
products
way.
we talked about, it's buy two, get one, if you decide, there's that.
There's that.
Thank you, yeah, and just thank you, good to see you, some sort of goodbye,
And then
nothing,
go on to whatever, just
Yeah.
go on to that, because you really get stuck at the products, they scare you.
yeah. So put them down and then just say, thank you so much, good to see you.
Yeah.
Or thank you for, whatever.
What you need, I help you.
If you need anything, let us know.
Yeah.
That's always a good
So
one.
how would you say goodbye to a friend? Same idea, like letting them go with a close.
I bet it's in your bag, right? Somewhere in the big bag. Let's get it for you.
It's right there.
Oh, I see.
Does anybody else need to go?
I
Who
got
needs
you,
to
baby.
go? Did everybody go?
Is that
Okay.
enough?
So a couple
You need
things.
more?
If they're already purchasing them, it's normal. If you know they're getting whipped, you know they're getting a shampoo and conditioner, just put it up there. She's
Is that
purchasing these today.
I
Sometimes I'll just come in the back and bag it up.
But I never get to do
I'll put it in the
that.
bag for them if I know they've
I'm
already
glad
said
I
yes
can
to
do,
me.
'cause I never get
So I
to
put it in
do
the bag and I say, okay, so these are the things that, if they said yes to one thing, cool, put it in the bag. And then you can just let them know it's buy two, get one free right now if you'd like anything else. But put the one they want in the bag and give it to the front desk. So it's not always going to be this generic feel, but you have to walk through the motions for it to be somewhat normal. Make sense? So you're pre-booking their next appointment or making the recommendation to the front desk. Like I recommend she comes back in 3 weeks. If they haven't committed to you, just tell the front desk what's happening. So the front desk will do the closing for you. I recommend that she comes back in 3 weeks for her haircut or whatever you just did or her future. Give them the times. They'll find the space in your book. Don't worry about it. Okay? So this is what I recommend. This is what we use. Thank you so much for coming in. It can be that simple. Does that seem a little easier? This is what I recommend for you to come back. This is what we used. Thank you for coming in. Carissa's going to take it from here. And then try not to run away so quickly.
Sometimes as I walk by, I always say, thank you, Renda. I always say, thank you, Renda, like for taking, it's like a nice close. Like, thank you.
Mm-hmm. But find what works for you, but do it over and over again. Don't walk them to the door and just let them go away with a free service. That's not the deal. They need a survey, they need a closeout, and you need practice. So that's the deal. So that's what we'll be looking at next Monday is how can we make that more comfortable for you so that it's just what you do. Make sense? I know you're really uncomfortable. I get it. I mean, because I'm uncomfortable pretending. We don't even, it was uncomfortable for her. She was like, oh God, okay, I'm going to do it. But it's different when it's authentic and you've already talked about everything. It's just going through the motions of. So when we do it, it's not actually uncomfortable. Does it look uncomfortable when you see us working in the salon? So it won't be for you either. You just have to find that way. I just want you to know what it looks like or should look like. Then find the way it fits you to meet those things. Make sense? All right, cool. I don't know where he is. Rob, do you have anything today? I didn't ask you in our free time. You guys can have a seat. Do you have anything for them today? We did. We filled their heads. I think their ears are oozing with information.
Are they? Yeah? Yeah? Did you get a chance to see the comments from the last experience day? I posted some of them this morning, so you'll see them on Slack, what people had to say about you in the last one. So what did you, what's the biggest thing, I know they've asked you this, but what's the biggest thing you're leaving here with today? Are you wrapping up soon?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just curious as to
Bless
what
you.
you got,
Yeah.
because I've been listening along, so I've been hearing you go through the process, but I'm just curious where you're at with this, like what's the biggest thing you've gotten so
What's the point of the 6 steps? Why?
Does the service run smoothly? It's like pretty, you have to live, there's no like, it's just like going smooth.
It's a good way of
Can I answer too? To build trust with the client.
to make sure every client gets the same experience. Start to finish.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it separates us. Anybody can go to any hair salon, and what's the one thing they're always going to get when they go to any hair salon? There's 300 of them within 10 miles of here. What are they always going to get? A haircut, right? Which is the service. They're always going to get a haircut. Now, it might not be a great haircut, but it's going to be a haircut. We don't know the quality of it, but all hair salons deliver a haircut. They're going to get that out of there. Not everyone has a consistency of service. There's not a delivery of service that every salon delivers. This guarantees that they are going to get what they need for their experience here. It guarantees that they're going to get a great experience whether they go to you or to you or to you. They're going to get that, or whether they go north, they come to the promenade, or they go to Bayfront, whether they come at 9 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There's consistency there. So they're not going to leave with any questions. So sometimes it seems like you're sharing information that you already shared. Or somebody probably already told them that. We have people who come now, who've been coming here for 15 years, who don't know what the VIP is. They don't know what that is. Because people just assume that they know because they've been coming. So when somebody doesn't get that full 6 steps, and that's included in the 6 steps, what's the current promotion, what's going on right now, they feel ripped off. They don't feel like they got the full experience. They didn't. You didn't care enough about me to tell me about that. What, you don't want me? Literally, those are the arguments that we get from people sometimes who didn't know about the gift. I've been coming 10 years. How come I didn't know about that? So no matter what their facial expression is, you don't want to skip on any aspect of this. Always, always, always 6 steps, because it will guarantee that they will have an experience that they didn't have at one of the other 300 salons. Because other salons aren't doing this. They don't have these conversations about this right here, about all those little particles, about how you share with them what you're using and why you're using it. They don't bother. Most people don't do this. They don't have the opportunity to say what they liked or didn't like about their last haircut. So this is the foundation. So if you get this right now and you start putting this in, don't wait till next Monday. You start putting it in tomorrow, because you're all using products tomorrow with your stylists. So you could start tomorrow pulling those products off the shelf. These are the shampoo and conditioner that I use for you. Because you did the shampoo. You know what those products are. And then you ask your stylist what they are. So you don't have to be like you're separate of that, because you are the stylist tomorrow, like starting right away, to be in practice of that. But these are going to separate you and separate us. And if we don't, especially right now, going into a recession, you hear it every morning, right? Oh, the recession's coming. People are really, really aware of every dollar. They're very, very concerned about it. And if they don't experience that they're getting a lot of value out of that dollar, like the head, neck, and shoulder massage that makes them super dizzy, and this fragrance of the shampoo that you share with them and talk about, or the little things like, oh, the bathroom is this way. Let me show you and get the door for you. Not, it's over there and take a right. Or I'll be with you at the bowl, or finishing them at the bowl and saying, her chair's over there. I got to clean up. All those little things they notice. The guidance to the chair, the walking them to the next place, the making sure their neck is dry, the warm tap. All those little things add up, especially right now because they're hypersensitive to dollars, as are we all. So we have to have all those things in there, and that means all 6 steps. That means I know you're going to be scared because you're going to have a haircut that you never did, or a blowout that seems really picky. So you're going to want to skimp on that. Well, I can't even talk to her about that because I don't have this part done. Don't do that. That's like doing half a haircut. Literally, some people walked out of here last week without even stopping at the desk. They were escorted to the door like, peace, bye, we're done. That's like cutting half their hair. It's like doing half a haircut. Not delivering the 6 steps. It's what we promised. When they're going to be paying $75 to $100 a haircut, there has to be more to it than just a haircut. has to. And that means your education. You've invested in yourself. You're putting 2,000 more hours into yourselves being here and being in this program. You are the Navy SEALs of hair. You are the cream of the crop. You're the top 5% by being in this program. So you've got to give them that. Trust yourself. Know that you have what it takes. You have the experience. You have the knowledge. So don't skimp on it. Don't just focus on just the hair, because most of them are coming back because of who you are as a person. They're not going to be, if you're the best hairstylist. We've had great hairstylists who are arrogant assholes.
Mhm.
And people, no matter how good the hair is, if they don't get that warm, fuzzy, loving, good, concerned feeling, like genuine authenticity, I heard that word being used. If you're authentic about it, you're yourself. This is what I use. This is why I use it. Need to see you in 4 weeks. It's a whole different experience.
I'm gonna flip on that. Yeah. I was gonna say, I've seen some very terrible hairstylists have very full books because of who they are. People want to sit in their chair and they will happily take that crooked cut and still walk out feeling like $1,000,000. Like, yes, look at me, because he made me feel this way, and just being the hour with him or her. Say him, because that was who it was. I know you knew that.
Which is really great news. That's such great news,
But
because
seriously.
I love that you said it, because you might compare your blowout to Lisa's next Monday, or you might compare your haircut to Christie's, or to Brenda's, or to Jen's, or whoever, and you're going, like really. But if you give them that extra, they'll be in love with you and want to. When you're on the floor, they're like, well, I'll just go to her. You're much easier to get into. But they fall in love with who you are and your journey in this process. Is why the whole point of the associate program, and it can be passed down to you. So you don't have to be that person you have up on a pedestal. Just be you in your way and deliver the same 6 steps. Now the other great thing is, you're getting these at a level that they've never been delivered to anybody in our organization before, because there's masters that have the 6 steps in a way that, Brenda helped write the 6 steps. She's a part of the foundation of writing what the 6 steps are and how they work, and so you have a true, to get it at this base level, because if you start with this, it's going to make your growth so much faster. Because we know that when they get to 6 steps, we're going to keep them. You don't have to get a bunch more people to get busier. You don't need a lot of people to get real busy. If you're delivering 6 steps every time, those people are going to be so satisfied, they're going to send you more people. We don't have to go out and get more people. You only need 200 people.
Well, and it creates consistency, and I think that's what if I go to somebody or for my nails or something, like, I like the consistent. Somebody can rely on you that you're always going to have every aspect of their service complete, like, and that's what people are going to be drawn to. And it's also for you to know, like, it's just basic, like, okay, I did this, I did this, I did that. And then so sometimes what happens is you'll have a guest that comes for, let's say, 3 or 4 years or something, and the consultation gets lost because you automatically always think, oh, they just want the same thing over and over again. If you have it right. But sometimes every little thing makes a difference, because what if they do want to change it up? So it creates consistency as you grow in your career. So it's an awesome thing. And then if we ask you about the question, you already know, like, oh yeah, I did this. That's in your head. Like, it's easier to create growth.
And regardless of what your conversation is about their response to you, so you're talking to them about the shampoo here, and they tell you what they use at home, or that they have a ton of shampoo at home under their counter. You'll hear that. Oh, I have so many. That's a comment that they make. So in your mind, you go, oh, well, she doesn't need it. She told me she didn't need it, so I won't pull it off the shelf. This is what I've heard over the last week as I've asked people, like, why didn't you pull the product out? Well, she told me she had a bunch under her sink. She's not this. We didn't ask her if she wanted to buy it. We just asked, this is what I'm using. This is what I used on you. If you'd like to buy it, it's up there for you. So don't skip that step. Don't share with them what the opportunity is, because that'll be up to them. And the other thing, when they tell you that, you've got a great answer for that. If I've got a ton of stuff under your counter at home, listen, here's the other thing. If you decide you want one of our products, any one of our products, take it home, use it. Use all of it. And if you decide you don't like it after you've used all of it, you don't need a receipt or anything. We'll exchange it for you, refund your money over any amount of time.
You take it back products 10, 15, 20 years from now, you'd be surprised. It's old packaging, it's like vintage.
Yeah, it happens often. So make sure, like let people know that. So everybody has a ton of products at home, but they don't have this product. So you want to continue the 6 steps all the way through, no matter what their reaction is. You're not selling anything. You're educating them, giving them the opportunity.
And something else, like if you have somebody, people might not even know what brand of shampoo and conditioner and stuff we use. So you don't even have to worry. Like, get the fact. Even for me, sometimes I have to do this. Don't get in your head it's sales mode. Like, don't do that. You're just educating them. Like, hey, welcome to Robert of Philadelphia. This is what I'm going to use on you today. I'm using this because X, Y, Z. That just shows more that you're a professional and you're putting thought into why we're using this shampoo. You're not just like picking some random shampoo. You're using this because they have frizz in their hair. Like, it's just showing them that you're that much more of a professional to tailor a shampoo to their needs. And you're just educating. Like, we have our own brand. I'm going to use this because you have this issue with your hair, and this is really going to help with that.
And how many times have people say, my hair never looks as good as when you do it? My hair never looks as good as when you do it. Well, it starts out, are you using my shampoo and conditioner? Because I promise you it makes a difference, starting from the very first product that you put on your hair. So when you're here in my chair, you start with this product and then this product. If you want it to even look remotely like what I do, you have to do what I do. You know?
And products are everything, and they are using Suave at home. Sorry, but they're stripping your color out that you're putting in there. Oh, my hair's always fading. Well, that may be the problem. It's not what they're doing in life; it's what they're shampooing with. I mean, the Florida sun's enough, but it could simply be their shampoo pulling out the color. So, all that education is important because they want their hair to look good. So, will it make their hair look good? That's it.
And you're the expert on our brand. So they could say they use Kerastase, they use Paul Mitchell, they use another high-end brand. That's fine. You don't even have to argue with that. I don't use that product. I don't know that product. I know this product. I know it works for your hair type. This is what works for us and what works for you. And you don't have to put that product down or dispute that or say anything else about that. You don't need to be an expert on that. You're an expert on what you're an expert on, what we have, what got their hair to achieve that look. So those things, even though they sound like you're adding to, but you are adding to the value of the experience. We've done the research on knowing what people need. We've done the research on knowing what products work for people. You've done the work on being in classes like this, putting yourself in a program that's hard, that takes time, that takes experience. So you've made yourself elite. They're expecting that from you, and they always will. So you're different than everybody else you went to school with. This is part of that difference.
Mm-hmm.
So it's awesome that you guys have this opportunity to have this here today, and to have the foundation of this, because this will make your life so much easier. Because things that ordinarily get missed, people, what happens? They'll smile, they'll walk out the door as if they're happy, and they just go away, and they never say anything. They show up on a report 4 months later, and you go, oh, where did she go? What happened to her? And you never see them again. In fact, 80% of new clients in the hair salon don't go back. So if you can shortcut that and actually put in enough steps to where there's enough opportunities for them to share with you what works, what doesn't work, to share with the front desk what works, what doesn't work. Then missing that last piece of the conversation up front there, having one more person to share with and talk to is critical, because that's one more person they can, they might not want to say to you, oh, they didn't love it or whatever that is. But we catch them that way. It's one more chance, one more opportunity, because they're scrutinizing their dollars. It's really, really important. And There are people coming here on Experience Day who are checking us out. You are representing the brand. They just moved here. They're not here only because it's a freebie. They're here because they're hunting for a new salon. They saw an opportunity. There's someone there. They're not just there like they heard about it in Philadelphia. Now they want to check it out. They want to see. So you're representing everything in that booth. That really matters. You can pick up a client for life on that day, forever. So thanks for having that class here. Thanks for
Yeah, this is awesome.
Okay, so 3 takeaways from each of you can be from right when we started talking about before the 6 steps on professionalism, the greeting, through all the way to the end. 3 takeaways or things that stick out in your mind. Whoa. From everybody.
I'll say mine.
Okay.
Great attitude, like when greeting clients and having a good attitude. Knowing the client's like personality and like just,
Perfect.
and then knowing the client's hair type and texture and what works best for them.
Perfect. Jennifer?
I think obvious, well, with the greeting, I think, actually no, I'm sorry. With the consultation, I think that was huge for me. I didn't necessarily, especially with this last experience day, I didn't really know what kind of questions to ask, and you know what I mean?
Yes.
Especially for like a specific service, because I mean, obviously it was my first one, so that was important. Professionalism, of course, with the service, like I mentioned before, being mindful of the conversations that I'm having and things like that. And then product recommendation and getting comfortable with that as well, and like what to say kind of at the very end as far as like pre-booking, because I wasn't really sure what to
Right,
do
right.
for that. So probably those 3.
Yeah, and the more you practice that, the easier it's going to get, and then that'll lead to all other things in the appointment. Yancy.
The 3 that I was really looking forward to going over, definitely the product recommendation, home maintenance, and future appointments. Doing that little walk-up thing actually helps a lot. It was definitely a little uncomfortable at first, but just by the second time, I was like, okay, Nancy, just do it. Like, because that's what it is, like building confidence as well with this, and then just keeping the professionalism as well. For sure, that's very important.
Anna?
I was going to say the same thing as Yancy, the last 3, because that's where I struggled the most was doing my closing and product recommendations with the client. I was very guilty of thinking she's all set and walking away.
Yeah, same.
She's all set.
Okay,
Runs
anything,
Runs off.
anything else that stands out from?
I think also getting a more detailed consultation
Okay.
as well.
Balloons?
So definitely the consultation, being that I think you said it, that it's the foundation, the entire rest of the service, and so definitely that, and appearance, because I know I don't always come into the salon looking, top tier. I know I do. I put effort towards it, but I know like sometimes I'll do that part in the salon, like after I get in there and set up and all that. Do it something that should be done before. And then product recommendations for sure. Working on that. Not letting it be so awkward and that kind of thing falls all it kind of works together with the greeting, kind of having that be a flow and all that. Yeah.
Is the expectation more clear of how the flow of the service should go? Okay. At what point in this step should you include your master stylist in Experience Day? Once you've completed yours. You do as thorough a consultation as you are capable of at this time, and then communicate to the master stylist what you're doing. It was a point where someone else would shampoo for you, and I would like that to happen so you can discuss freely with your senior stylist what you're uncomfortable about. So I will try to incorporate that where whoever is free is shampooing for someone so they can say, I don't know what the heck I'm doing with this. And we can freely talk about that away from a guest. So, so that would be that opportunity. We are listening to your consultations. So just the introduction of the master stylist and why they're there would be helpful. Everyone has a list of classes. Did you get that? Sarah gave it to you. Go ahead and move to that. I want you to, you know if you've taken those classes or not, but I need an attendance check. Those are them, yes. So those are the classes that are being given. And what you three will notice is that you'll be combined with them with some of the classes because we flip-flopped the way we were doing some of them. So like this 6-step format is here, right? But you guys hadn't had it. So if they're doing a class that you haven't had on this list, I'm going to send out a text just like I did this weekend. But these are all the classes. If there's a class on here that you look at that you've taken and you need to retake because you don't feel good about it, retake it. The reason this even came about is I've always opened up invites to all classes to everyone. But on Monday, Christy said to me, what's the class next week? And I was like, oh, it's going to be this. It'll be great if you come. So, so you're always invited. But if there's a class on this list that's happening that you haven't taken, you need to attend it, whether you missed it or it hasn't been given yet. Makes sense? And then once you've taken them, you can retake them as much as you want for comfortability, or you may be recommended to take it again because you just didn't get it the first time, and that's okay. Make sense? But your group, I'd like you guys to mark the ones you've taken, and I don't know if you've missed any of the classes, but if you've missed one, you need to take it when it comes back around. Make sense? And you guys have had a couple of these, so you can mark the ones that you've taken.
Did we do the basic styling classes or no?
I think that was our first one.
So I incorporated that with the blowout that we did with Wella, and we'll build on your styling technique, but yes. And you three are working on 5 haircuts a week until you're comfortable. So I need to see pictures because I haven't gotten any since last experience day. So 5 haircuts a week, and you guys are working on your blow dries. So 50 blow dries. And it should come with, this is what I did, this is what I learned, this didn't work, whatever. Just some commentary so that we know what's going on, what's working, what's not working. Maybe you put a product in and it was awful. And you're like, I learned not to use that ever on that hair type or whatever. Okay? And then I just want to go through and see, this can go in your folder, this class list, and then you need to complete every class on it. That's the goal.
What was the last class, the previous class?
Color formulation. It might not say that. There you go. I wrote this list and then I kind of look at it and then, so, but your group was all cutting, and Lisa and I discussed that we need to put some color information first so you guys can be doing retouches sooner than later. So that's why some of these classes are coming in. Make sense? So we'll combine. When we do hair cutting, you guys are welcome to come back for their hair cutting if you want to do it again. But you're not required if you're confident in it. I mean, the more you're in, the better, the faster you're going to grow, honestly. And then you'll know when you're like, okay, I don't need to hear that class again. But I do just want to say thank you for giving up your Monday. I get it. Totally get it. And Monday is tough. Monday is tough, but it's the best day that we can all come together. So here we are, and you guys show up and are open, and I love that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
I reflect that. Thank you very much for letting me come in and crash your Monday.
Thank you for being here because this was outstanding, truly. That's all I got, unless you have something for me. We just need to put the chairs back and the trays back so that Looks like we weren't here. And you're free to go.
Oh yeah. I do want to say last experience day,
Oh.
the salon was left disastrous.
Well, and there's some tools that went missing.
okay.
So
It happened at our class too. I got in trouble the next day because the class salon
that
was left
always
a
happens, and
disaster.
it's never going to be perfect, but I do think we need to be more mindful when we're using someone else's station, because I leave my stuff out for everyone to use, but when I came back, I went to go work and I had 2 brushes missing, and they're my favorite ones. So I was like,
And I know everyone kind of trickles out.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like everyone's not done. at the
So
same time.
no-
Just because you leave early doesn't mean that you just dip out and leave early. Like walk through, check. You know what I mean? If you're using this station, make sure you kind of put things back. If you
Yeah.
know, or just leave it tucked underneath, or try to do your own little kind of cleanup. Check with other people before you leave. Not saying that you don't do that,
But if we're all doing it, then the last people here aren't like throwing their hands up and they're like, damn, I got to do all this. So, and it's just being mindful because you guys are coming in awkwardly, maybe using a tray because you don't have a setup. So it's awkward for you guys too. So I respect that. We'll never be clean enough. I promise you. There will always be there was a towel left or there was a this left. But just being extra mindful because you don't want to be the person who's coming to your station and your stuff is not there. It's very frustrating. And I was cursing in my head. Like, I don't have my brushes. That was I didn't look. I didn't come in early and look. I just showed up and was getting ready to do my day. And then I was yelling at them like, I got to find my brushes. So that's.
and it falls into this for us. Then when it's like you have to, okay, let me go grab this. Okay, let me go grab this. Let me go grab this. I find that just I work 1 day a week, so when I'm behind the chair and I don't have all my stuff, already pre-set up, spend that time extra, whatever, or somebody's moved one thing that I leave here, then I'm like running back and forth, and my client is like,
Yeah, and it just doesn't look professional. It just doesn't look professional. So when you set up coming and making sure you have all your tools ready too before you go, and yeah,
I
that's
think a
it.
lot of it with the stylists here, it's just because we've got the drawers. Like there's one stylist that has asked me to start taping the drawers shut so that people don't go in. We have experiences.
Right, just because things keep going missing. So I'm not saying anyone is taking them. I just think that they're just getting misplaced because we found things that were missing.
get busy and just stick them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we found things that were missing. So at the end of the day, there's no accusation. It's just trying to be mindful of leaving it the way you found it for the other stylists. And you know what? I went to Bayfront and took that class, and I was like, where did this come from? I moved something to use my curling iron and flat iron, and I was at Lisa's station. I was like, crap. And I was like, Felice, where does this go? I didn't know. And I didn't want Lisa coming in like, oh, Jen was at my station and my stuff is gone. Because I know that feeling. But I'm also guilty of the opposite end. So we can just be mindful because we're at every location. We don't want them to hate us every time we show up. And I want you guys to be able to be in your personal locations so that it's comfortable for you too, not just one location. So that's all I got. But thank you for bringing that up because it's really important that we leave it in this space. So anyway, that's it. Just place chairs and trays back and have a wonderful day. Thank you for coming. This is from a tray. This is the tray setup. So if there's a clean tray somewhere,